Hi guys, happy Friday. It's January 24th. I wanted to talk a little bit about a message that I got from Archangel Uriel. But before I do that, I wanted to preface it by saying that these channel messages that I get are not my words. I am just a facilitator of that message that are coming from the higher realms. Be it an archangel, a master teacher, my guides, my ancestors, extraterrestrials. Yes, I said it, extraterrestrials. We are not alone. Those are the beings of high vibrating frequency here to help serve humanity with the greatest and the highest good of all in mind. And they do it in such a way of unbiased judgment, compassion, and understanding for us over all of these millions of years that we've been doing this. And that's really wonderful because they're not really meddling, they're just giving their higher perspective and understanding as they observe what we are going through at this time. I would like to start by just kind of doing what I have been told is kind of a map of who we are and our connectivity to everything. We have Source. You may call it God, Sophia, Great Spirit, Universal Energy, the Divine. Whatever in your heart feels right, that's what you name that energy. But that is where we all come from, and that we are sparks of that, and we have an oversoul. And that oversoul is then fractalized into these multitudes of realities that we are all experiencing as souls, sending messages and insight back to Source. I know that's a lot to take in, but anybody that listens to my messages, I'm sure you listen to other channelers, and that's exactly or near exactly what they say as well. And when we look at that as a big picture about all of us coming from the same source, we have to really sit back and realize that this duality, this separation that we have been programmed to believe as who we are, is an illusion. It's not real. The reality is that we are all connected. We are all part of the same thing. We are all one. With duality, we have right, we have wrong, we have up, we have down, we have black, we have white, we have male, we have female, we have Catholic, we have Baptist. We have duality. And what that does is it starts segmenting us into groups. And then we as humans decide to take sides. And a lot of times that, well, really all the time, it leads to division, hardships, judgment, conflict, when we start thinking in those terms. And I just wanted to kind of give you a visual of what I've gotten so that when I talk about oneness and standing in neutrality, it makes more sense. Because each of us is here, we've chosen to learn a certain lesson and an experience. And when we choose sides, which is really easy to do with all the programming that we've had, that's when the division starts. And we're really feeling that right now, this last week in particular. It's been going on forever, but it's just really been to the forefront this last week. And I know this says very Pollyanna-esque, but every energy that has stepped forward and given me a message has said we have to sit in non-judgment, that we have to try to remain neutral and to understand that it isn't up to us to decide someone else's path or belief systems, but we have to work on ourselves to understand our connectivity as beings who are a part of one. And when you do that, you start looking at people differently. You don't look at them as male or female, black or white, straight or gay, trans, not trans. You look at people as energy and as all connected, as brothers and as sisters. And I think that's really important right now to re-emphasize, and this keeps coming up in everything that I get. So what Spirit, the teachers, the angels on the other side are really making clear is that we are at a time in humanity where we really have to dig deep and go inward and to drop the hate, the fear, and the judgment of others. So with that, I want to share a message I got from Archangel Uriel. When I got this message, this energy is, they're all unconditionally loving and high vibrating. This energy in particular was palpable. The frequency, it was pretty amazing, this energy. So I will begin. I would like to preface the beginning of this. I'll read it and then I'll kind of explain. Love oneself. People are pulling in wormhole of patterns of old lessons joining people now. So when I talk about a wormhole, that means we have all of these realities, all of these times in history, or what we perceive as history, past, present, and future. Think of it as a bridge between those realities. And many people are tapping into a reality that the energies on the other side are considering to be lessons that we haven't quite learned yet. Times in history that are being brought to the surface by things that are occurring now. I'll read that one more time. Love oneself, going to pull in a wormhole pattern of old lessons joining people now. Men are forever fighting. Love needs to rise above the fear and the hate of one another. Greed only divides humanity. The world needs a jovial voice at this time. Lessons honoring the friendships that are kept. Your political leaders now are learning quite a hard-kept remembrance of an old hate and division. And this is me. This isn't just specifically for the people in control now. It is for really all political leaders. So there's no judgment and there's no pointing the fingers or right or wrong. It's an observation that all of these individuals in power are going through this. Jesus teaches the I am, God with compassion for all souls. The vision of all mankind peacefully merging kindness and unity. So this is me. The I am is about our self-awareness that we as fractals of that energy have the right to connect to that energy ourselves. We don't need anybody else to do that. It's right here. Hope is needed. People are feeling a palpable lesson of kept remembrances of negative times. Learning repeated understanding of patriarchal societies, lustily claiming the freedoms of people not perceived as equal. Really set with that. That was me. Communicating dominance precipitates mankind's violent qualities. Jesus fosters your divine understanding of clearing the tired understandings of hate. So this is me. When Spirit talks about something being tired, they are emphasizing that that is not serving our highest and greatest good as spiritual beings. God is inside of all. Quiet the news that negatively affects you all. Negative oral dialogue that is keeping people in fear. Nature, meditation, and prayer. All will help you merge the lessons that are dividing humanity at this time, driving such hatred. So that was the message. And I know anybody that listens to my messages can feel that reoccurring thing that always comes up. I just ask that you sit with it with an open heart. If you find yourself judging people or choosing sides or placing blame, listen to these words, because these words are always brought forward from beings of unconditional love from a higher perspective. Have a good day.